Let me teach you how I made this custom mama sweater using my daughter's old baby clothes, and you don't need to learn how to embroider or sew to do this. The supplies that we need include this heat and bond, which is iron-on adhesive. One side of it is rough and the other side is paper. Then we'll need a Cricut EasyPress Mini or an iron, and then a heat mat and the baby clothes that you'll be using. This was a onesie that I previously cut for this project. Next, you'll put the heat and bond material to measure it and cut it, and then place the rough side down onto the back of the baby clothes. Then attach it by using heat, whether you're using a heat press or an iron. Make sure that you are taking your time when attaching it and putting enough pressure and heat to the material so it bonds properly. I did notice that my material wasn't bonded all the way, so I just did another round to go over it just to make sure it was not going to come apart. For this project, I'm using a Cricut Maker 3, so I'm grabbing my Cricut mat. I would actually recommend using a fabric grip mat or a standard grip mat and not a strong grip mat that I'm using, but it's the only new mat that I had, so I decided to use it. And then we're gonna go into Cricut Design Space and go to my projects. This project is pre-made, and just go to customize to go to the canvas and see the letters there. Once you go to make, you can adjust the letters so that if you want to save material, you can rotate the letter A. However, for this first cut, I am only cutting the letter M just to show you how to do it. So we go to Maker 3, and I am using a USB cord, and I'm selecting felt craft bonded and selecting a rotary blade. This is the setting that I found to work with this fabric, so that's what I'm using, and you can try it out. And I am using a rotary blade because I find that the rotary blade cuts way better than the fine point blade, especially when dealing with fabric. So I loaded that into clamp A, and then I'm placing my mat into my machine and pressing the load button, and I am just going to let it cut. Now I am cutting this material in real time because I just want you to see how long it would take for this Cricut Maker 3 to cut the material. I typically fast forward the part where I'm cutting material. However, if you're new to a Cricut machine, you probably want to see it in real time, so that's why I'm leaving it so you can see how long it takes. I want to also give you a tip that you should always do a test cut with your materials. That way, if the material doesn't cut all the way, you can change your setting and you're not wasting your supplies. Okay, so here we are. My rotary blade is cutting my material, and we're just going to let it finish up. While the material is cutting, please do me a huge favor and give this video a thumbs up and comment if you would like to try this project, and let me know if you are a crafter, if you are new to a Cricut machine, if you're thinking of getting one. Just leave a comment, just say hi. All right, so then we're going to unload our machine once it's finished cutting, and then carefully we are going to peel off the material from the mat. Again, this is a strong grip mat, which I do not recommend. It was the only mat that I had that was brand new, so it is very tacky, and you can see I am doing my best to peel it nice and carefully, but you would have better luck using a mat that wasn't so sticky. Okay, so it's okay though, because it does work. You know, you can see it's working. However, it would probably be easier with the other mat. Okay, anyways, so we're just peeling off the excess material here very slowly. And this is the letter M. This is so satisfying actually when it comes off easily and it looks nice. The rotary blade really does change the game. So there's some paper on there because it came off of the material. So go ahead and just take it off. You can use a weeding tool for that. I mean, technically you could have just left it and just peeled off the letter M, but it's okay for the sake of just trying to be neat for this video. I took off the paper. Now I am carefully removing the letter from the mat. I was actually so happy to find a way to make this project without having to sew or embroider. And I really hope that this video gives you an idea on some other different crafts you can make using fabric. So here is how the fabric looks once it's cut. I think it looks really great. So now we're going to use the glitter iron-on material and place the shiny side down on the mat. This is smart glitter iron-on material, so you need to make sure that you select the right setting and also switch out the rotary blade to the fine tip blade. The fine tip blade is the blade that comes with the Cricut Maker already, so you don't have to purchase it. But the rotary blade does not. You have to purchase that if you plan on making this project. Now let's go ahead and jump into Cricut Design Space, and I'm going to show you how to add text. Go to the left side and click where it says text and then add the word MAMA. I know the text is already there, but I just want to show you how to do it in case you're new to a Cricut machine. The text that I found to work for this project is called Headline News, and it is in the Cricut Design Space app. If you have a membership to Cricut Design Space, then it is free for you, but if you don't, then I believe it's $4.99 to purchase that font. So I have my font here, and I'm going to resize it and also show you how to make it more spacious. So select the font, and then where it says letter space, you're going to increase that just to make it a little bit more spacious. I like to change the color of my font to see the lines better, especially when I'm about to add an offset, which is what I'm doing here. An offset is basically an outline, and that's what we're creating right now with the glitter iron-on material. So I am applying an offset, and then I am also applying an inset. I'm not sure if that's the technical term, but I saw that someone used that term before, which is basically the opposite of an offset. Okay, so we made the inset, and then we're going back to the original text and removing it, and then we're selecting the offset and the inset that we created, and I'm changing the color so you can see it. And then I am going to attach them so that way it becomes one object, and that's how we create a border. So in order to cut our material, we click and select the Cricut Maker 3. We're selecting Smart Iron-On Glitter, and I like to add more pressure when using glitter iron-on material, and I put the mirror on because when you're doing any iron-on material, you just have to put the mirror on so it doesn't cut backwards. Now we're headed back to our Cricut Maker 3, and we just load it and press the go button to allow it to cut out our border for us. Again, this is actually in real time so that you can see how fast it cuts. It actually cuts pretty fast because it is glitter iron-on material, and I am very satisfied with the speed of this Cricut Maker 3. All right, so we're just unloading it, and then we're going to peel it off of our mat, and then we're going to cut out the excess material so that way we can save it for a different project. And then weeding out the excess material just like this. And then we are going to also weed out the middle of the M because we just want the border. This is how the border looks when it's finished, and then we're just going to grab our M made of fabric and then place the glitter border on top of the M, and get our heat press to attach it onto the letter. I highly recommend using glitter iron-on instead of everyday iron-on, because when we go to our sweater and we iron on this letter, if you're using everyday iron-on, which is just regular heat transfer vinyl, then if you just use the heat press and attach it touching the heat transfer vinyl, then it will mess up your border. But the glitter iron-on material, you can actually touch it with the heat press and it won't mess up. I don't know if that's quite making sense, but glitter iron-on material I like using way better than regular iron-on material. I think it looks so good. So what we're going to do is just peel off the backing, which is that paper protective layer of the iron-on adhesive, and then we are going to get ready to press it onto our sweater. So yes, I know my daughter just appeared out of nowhere, but she wanted to come outside with me and she's eating her breakfast. She loves to eat her lentils. So I'm just putting my letters on the sweater and then applying some heat on there with my EasyPress Mini. And I would probably recommend using one of those rulers that helps you get the letters straight when you're applying something to a shirt. However, I like to just wing it, and it ended up being fine the way that I did it. And then I am attaching the rest of them. So I seriously love how it turned out. It is a project that I've been meaning to do for a long time, and my daughter has so many old clothes that don't fit her anymore. So this was just an amazing project. Like, I am giving myself a pat on the back because I'm so proud that I learned how to do it. And I really hope that this video helped you to learn how to do it as well. Leave me a comment and let me know, was this video helpful for you? And also just let me know if you'll make it as well. Now, I do want to reiterate the fact that I am using glitter iron-on material. If I was using regular iron-on material, like everyday iron-on or regular heat transfer vinyl, if I put the iron to the material, it would mess it up. So if I did this with the heat press and that wasn't glitter, it would mess up the letter. So just keep that in mind. Here is how the sweater turned out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.